When we say probiotics, when you hear us say the word stabilize, that just means you don't need to refrigerate. Okay, it's a lot of little things, most things out there. There's a lot of marketing words out there that people buy into. And think about this, like, your probiotics, they'll say, make sure you get the ones in the refrigerator. Well, those ones, why? Well, they're more expensive. That's typically true. But if they have to live in a refrigerator, how are they going to live in your body temperature? How are they going to go all the way down and fully do what they're potentially supposed to do? It's very simple, common sense things that we never really were taught, we never thought about maybe. And that's the frustrating thing about all this is it's so simple. It really is simple. Eat more fresh and living food. That's a big thing we teach. When I said don't label us, I like pizza and I like different things.
I like desserts.
You like dessert, but it's, we're not on a diet. We're not keto or Frito or Cheeto or Tito or Paleo or Haleo or whatever. There's nothing wrong with those things if that's what serves you. Our goal is, we know our body, the human body, was not supposed to eat so much cooked and processed food. Period. End of story. Our goal is high. Our goal is 80% fresh and living food each day. The average American eats about 5% fresh and living food. And if you think about yesterday what you ate, or tonight when you go to bed, when you lay down, think about what did I eat today? How much of it was not heated, cooked, processed in any way?
It's easier than you think, though. So even say you love, the average American dinner is like, or breakfast, I'll say, is like sausages or bacon and toast and scrambled eggs and maybe some hash browns. So everything I just mentioned is cooked, including the glass of orange juice. So you switch that mentality and you say, well, what am I craving this morning? Okay, I'm kind of craving the eggs. Fine, great, have the eggs, but have sliced tomatoes, have fresh spinach, have some fresh salsa that you made and put that on top of it. Avocado. And yeah, avocado, which is good fats, feeds the brain. So just start thinking a little differently. It's not about changing your whole world. It's about mastering the mundane. It's about doing the small steps. It's little changes every day. Water is going to hydrate you 10 million times better than soda with a phosphoric and carbonic acid that you shouldn't be having in your body anyway. So you really want to just make small changes that'll make massive difference in your world. And one of them will be just being consistent about taking a plant-based digestive enzyme at the beginning of a cooked meal. If you grab a banana, an apple, anything like that, you do not need to take them.
If you think about it, like an apple, and I was testing the apple today. I'm kind of weird like that. If you bite into that apple, right, and the air hits it, it should start to turn brown, right? It's kind of like that enzyme activity starting to break. It's the life force of that apple. It'll start to break itself down. If it doesn't turn brown, get a new apple. Okay, another example of fake food, okay? Like a banana, or, if I eat that apple, my body's like, yes, this is amazing. I know exactly what to do to get all the nutrients out of it. If I cook that apple and make apple pie, now it's dead. Your body's like, how do I break what is this? Your body does not recognize that. That's where this enzyme comes into play. The banana, you leave it on the counter too long, what happens? You guys see them, they get kind of dark. Pretty soon, if it's too long, they'll ooze out of the sides. That's the life force of the banana. It's breaking itself down. So, we've done a lot in our lifetime in the things that we've done, not just with doctors and sports teams. And, we'll go do this. We do this pudding demo. It could be a first grade classroom. It could have been an NBA basketball team. It could have been on a military base, an assisted living home. It doesn't matter. We do it anywhere and everywhere. We want this message to get out there. But it's imperative that you understand how important. I haven't eaten, okay? I want you to understand when you take this serious. I have not eaten cooked, heated, or processed food in almost 20 years now without that. Never. I'll eat fresh food. I will not eat something that is heated, cooked, or processed if I don't have that enzyme, ever. I won't eat. I just won't do it. Now, what's the benefit of that? Well, I'll be 57 next month. I feel 100%. When was the last time you felt 100%? And we just want you to be the best version of yourself That's really what this is all about. It's not about being perfect. We're not perfect.
It's not about living in the gym either. We definitely do not live in the gym.
We do not live in a gym.
I try to stay away from gyms.
Tylene does not like that. Do you need anything off that?
No, but you want movement. You do want movement. You want to keep moving. You want to dance. You want to run. Do anything you can do to keep the body moving, because your lymphatic system is really important, and you need to move that. So jumping rope every day would be a very, very good thing. Rocky would definitely highly suggest that you jump some rope every day. It's good.
Two things are supposed to happen when we eat our food. We're supposed to get all the nutrient value of whatever, there's not a lot of nutrients in that pudding, but that enzyme will make sure you break down, absorb, whatever you want to call it, whatever nutrient value is in your food. And the second thing that has to happen when you eat is you need to pass out what your body does not want at that particular time. Does that make sense? Because if you're not pooping, we talk a lot of poop, you guys. If you're not pooping, that food's becoming toxic in your body. And when it becomes toxic in your body and starts going into places it's not supposed to be, and then pretty soon into your blood, let's say. My mom, I mentioned this, my mom passed of colon cancer. I was the youngest of 8. She was always in the bathroom. I thought she was hiding from us, right? But reality was she was constipated. She couldn't eliminate, and she passed at a young age. We want to get the nutrients from what we eat, and we want to pass out of our body what our body does not want.
The other thing is just about taking pressure off of the body. Currently, your pancreas is what's making all of your enzymes. So this isn't about taking away what your pancreas does. You naturally eat raw food, and we were meant to get enzymes from raw food. So you can take as many of these as you want, and you're not going to hurt your body or shut your pancreas off. But what I'm talking about is you're taking pressure off the pancreas to not have to secrete so much of its own. And then when something's enlarged, it's bad. An enlarged pancreas, enlarged heart, thyroid becomes a goiter. So that means something in the body is overworked. The body doesn't like that. It likes to be a little more balanced than that. So when you take a digestive enzyme, you're taking pressure off of even the liver from having to produce bile constantly to digest all the fats that we're eating. The lipase is going to help break the fats down, takes a little bit of pressure off of the gallbladder, takes some pressure off of the liver. Taking enzymes in general, plant-based enzymes, is going to take a little pressure off of the pancreas, so it doesn't have to work as hard. This is really important.
Well, kind of a last example on that is, you guys like maybe a Thanksgiving holiday or some special holiday where you eat a lot of food, right? Like maybe if it is Thanksgiving, I know for me, I would eat all this food, and typically before I knew about enzymes, I would just kind of lay down and want to take a nap, watch some football. Nothing wrong with that. Instead, I can eat a lot of food. I'll take more enzymes. I'll run around and play football because you're getting those nutrients. Your brain is getting fed. There's so many different things going on, and you can do your own little simple research. They say 70, 80%, whatever you research, of your immune system's in your gut. The gut-brain relationship. We used to get laughed at 20 years ago. People thought we were woo-woo and hippies, and Ty said we're not hippies.
Because we take showers.
Because we take showers. That's cool.
But we are kind of hippies.
The ideal time would have been right when you were about to eat that food that you consumed. You would take 1 or 2 of those capsules. But also, you can take it systemically. You can take it away from food. So it would be a good idea right now for you to take one of those and allow it to go in. Basically, it works like the old Pac-Man game. It's just going to go throughout the body, and it's just looking for things that needs to be cleaned up, undigested things. Does that make sense? Their enzymes are proteins. They just kind of run into stuff, and then they consume it. What happens when someone's blood is too thick and sticky? We love our doctors, by the way. It's not about docs. What do they tell you to get on? What do they put you on? Blood thinners. A lot of nurses. I forgot.
Love all the nurses.
Okay, so that's cool. So you'll get on a blood thinner, and now your blood flows better, but it's still dirty. Okay, well, what happens if you take enzymes like this, allow it systemically to go clean the blood? The blood now flows, but it's clean. So now not only is the blood flowing, but the blood is clean. And so we always tell people, talk to your doc. If someone is taking something like that, we always say, let your doctor know. You want to do something a little more holistically, whatever you want to say. because those blood thinners, if they were on them, they're just going to work better. They're just going to work faster. So we always tell people if you do receive that question.
So that's if you're taking it on an empty stomach. If you're taking it with food, it's automatically, it just looks for that specific substrate, that protein, carb, or fat, and it goes right for that. So if you take it away, anything that's floating around in your body is what Sean's talking about. That's when you definitely need to check with the doc.
You good with that?
Oh, I'm good. And this is just, so what this is saying is there's essential vitamins produced by intestinal bacteria. And the reason this is so important is because some of our good bacteria actually make things that we really need. So there is, like I said, a maintenance supply of probiotics that are stabilized, so shelf stable, meaning you can put them on your shelf for 2 years, and they're still going to work 2 years later exactly how they do today. And that's really, really important because most of them usually have to be in the refrigerator, like what Sean was talking about. So there is a maintenance supply in here of also probiotics, and pro meaning for life. So antibiotic is against life. Anti, it kills everything when you're on an antibiotic. And so a probiotic is going to feed and colonize the intestinal tract with good, friendly bacteria that you want. And it's good to have it every single time you're eating, so they also get food. So then they'll colonize better, which will be better for you for many, many reasons. Just a few of these are up here, but there's a lot of other reasons that it's very important as well.
There's some more.
Fun photos.
Fun stuff. I don't know if any of you like basketball or not. I don't know why she sent us all basketball guys. I don't know. Oh, there's my brother-in-law.
We did a lot of work with basketball
My
guys.
brother-in-law is an astronaut, commanded the space shuttle 4 or 5 times, so our enzymes have gone to space multiple times.
But the coolest thing is he was the guy who flew the jets in Top Gun.
Oh, that's true.
So that's more cool.
Tim Duncan, another 2-3-time MVP of the NBA, and we were the first any form of supplement that he had ever taken. And then we got to that, which led us to, we had the San Antonio Spurs. We worked with their team. They had back-to-back NBA championship runs. That was
Larry
us.
Fitzgerald was the same way. He did not want to take any product.
For those from the Philippines, that's Alton Lister, 7-footer, used to be with the Boston Celtics and some other teams. He lives in the Philippines, and so I'm sure he would love to show up. And
yeah, if you have a big event, let us know, and we'll be like, hey, go over there and say hi.
He loves the enzymes. And that's a big thing. People have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this. I want you to know a couple more things about the product you're holding with no compensation plan attached to that product. For the first handful of years, you won't believe this, and that's okay. We had about a 92% reorder. And then after about, 15, 20 years, when we've done that, it's just under 90%. It's about an 87% reorder. And those were in scenarios with no one getting paid anything for sharing this information. If people stop taking this product, they will know. They will know, and they will want it again. And so you definitely don't want people to run out of this product. The average household, we've learned over the years, uses about 3 bottles. And probably because most people start taking a little bit more. Maybe they take it before bed on an empty stomach to just kind of clean the body up. When you sleep, it's a great time to heal. And, the whole family ends up using the product, basically, is what happens. So make sure you always have plenty of that. This will be, in my opinion, our opinion, from what we do, and we do a lot of things, we've never done anything that is this simple. Because when people get it, you don't want to, as Dr. Tim said, we don't want to deplete our enzyme bank account. And we want to feel as good as we can feel when we eat. We don't want to be tired, right? We want to, help our body help itself. We've always said, give the body what it needs, and then let it deal with the issues. So we don't make claims. We don't need to do any of that. It's not about that. It's about the body. The body just needs a chance. So anytime you give your body a better chance, it's amazing what it can do for itself. And eating fresh and living food, incorporating more of that, we'd encourage you to do that as well. It's just going to help your body do the things that it wants to do. If you ate all raw food, which is no fun, we've done that, right? We work with a lot of cancer patients in facilities in other countries, et cetera, and we've done that to help some people and help them be committed, because when you go, when your body's hurting like that, when you go to those facilities, one of the very first things they do is they put you on raw food. raw juice because of just flooding the body with nutrients without putting any pressure on the body. And so if you ate all raw food, I'm not telling you to do that, no one would even recognize you. I mean, your body will adjust so much. So we encourage you, add a little more fresh and living food. Take your enzymes. You're going to eat cooked food. I know I am. And you can also take it away from food as well. You got anything else?
It for sure is kind of beauty from within, because you're going to get more nutrients from your food. And if you have more nutrients from your food, that's going to help hair, skin, nails. Sean was talking about the kind of the river of life and your blood flow and how it would be better if you take the enzymes on an empty stomach, because it'll help with that. One of the things that better blood flow does is oxygenates your body better. And oxygen does a lot of amazing things. So that's also going to be really, really important. Dr. Tim had showed you a book by Dr. Edward Howell. So I didn't wake up one morning and kind of invent this myself. I wish I did. I'm definitely not that smart. Smart in my own way, but I did not invent this. I found it because the research has pretty much been buried since the 1930s. And when I read that, that was one of my first books I read about enzymes, it was bothersome to me that I didn't know this, and that my family didn't know this, and that this information's kind of suppressed because of the difference it makes when you learn this. So I highly suggest get that book. There is another book that in the years more recently that has been written that I also really enjoyed, and he wrote it really well. And it's a Japanese man who has done 40,000 colonoscopies. So if anyone knows what it looks like inside, would be this guy. And his name is Dr. Hiromi Shinya. And he wrote a book, I believe it's called The Enzyme Factor. And that's also a really good one to educate yourself, so you're not just listening to me. You can grab the research from that book. You can grab the research from the other book, because it's mind-blowing, and there's so many things I cannot tell you about enzymes and the healing process and how much they help the body in what it needs to do to be very healthy.
Well, and that's really how we got all these athletes in the beginning. Was they were finding not only were they performing better, but they were getting back on the field or court quicker. And I'll give you a little example. I think I have time. So let's say you're Steve Nash, and you roll your ankle, and you're a multi-million-dollar athlete, or if you're a high school athlete, you want to get back on that field or that court as quick as you can. And so what happens is, I'll just oversimplify this. So Steve rolls his ankle. He wakes up and he has breakfast. You have in your body these digestive enzymes, but you also have metabolic enzymes, and those are to fight your illnesses and things and heal you when you're injured. So your enzymes, he wakes up, his metabolic enzymes are healing his ankle, they're going to work, and then he has breakfast. And it's cooked. So they stop healing his ankle, and they come on up to the gut to help him digest his breakfast. Now his breakfast is all digested, and they go back down and they start healing his ankle again. Okay? Oh, he wants a protein bar. They stop healing his ankle, and they come back up to break down that protein bar. Done now. Now they go back down and start healing his ankle. It's lunchtime. They stop healing his ankle, and they come back up, and they help him digest his lunch. Do you see where I'm going? We don't want to do that. So one of the things we've always taught, is more fresh and living food, because the body tends to fix things quicker that have gone wrong. In this case, we don't want those athletes to slow down their healing process, or anyone. So if they're taking digestive enzymes, these full spectrum plant enzymes, what Tylene does, and she does not give herself enough credit. You guys, I have watched her wow many high-profile doctors. I still remember sitting in a big conference room once. A company wanted us to make some products for them, and we did not, because we weren't in alignment with what they wanted us to do. And a big gentleman, big Harvard MD guy, was sitting at the end of the room. He's a big man. And we finally just said, listen, we really appreciate you wanting us to be involved. This is just not something we can do. We have a different belief system. We don't like to create things with synthetics. Said something, popped something off back, and then Tylene quotes two Harvard studies to him. She's a 2 to 8 hour a day researcher since I've
No,
known
but that was a God thing, because you don't remember.
20 years ago.
You
Yeah, I
don't
don't even
remember
know where it
everything you
came
read,
from.
and it just came into my mind
And
as
we have all these guys in there. It's all men, myself, and there's probably 12 people around this big conference table. And then finally, the big Harvard guy heading the whole thing up, he goes, and he was a big man, he goes, well, clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about, he says. And
he laughed.
And he laughs, and he says, you're right. And they all agreed. So it wasn't confrontational. They said, we know you're right. It just, we need to make things cheap. Because to them, it was about making money. I think there's so much opportunity right now, more than ever, that we've been doing what we do. People are very concerned about being more preventative with their health, taking care of their body, and they're also looking, obviously, for other things to do financially from home. And so this is really a beautiful combination. So you guys, the best is yet to come. I mean, there's a lot of things we want to do to help. We're just here to serve. I mean, that's our calling, and sometimes we don't know why we're still doing this, and it just has gotten bigger and bigger. I remember when Dr. Oz says there was a gut-brain. Remember that in like 2014? Dr. Oz says there's a gut-brain connection, and then our phone started ringing. Hey, Dr. Oz was saying what you guys were saying, so it must be true now. I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll go with that.